Muschamp.com.
I want to congratulate Jeff Demps winning the SEC and national championships again in the 60-meter. Hopefully Charlie can figure out a way to get him in some space this year and make a play or two, which I think he was supposed to be funny, but it wasn't. Really proud of where we are right now. We just finished a 5-week all-season program. We really put the players through an awful lot, worked 4 days a week as far as agility system, plyometrics, endurance training, lifting with Mickey in the weight room. So real proud of their effort. I really think in the off season that's where you build your football team. You build the mental toughness it's going to take to be successful. You find out a lot about individual players at this time, what they're willing to push through. You find out a lot about where your leadership is in this football team. That's some things we need to address and continue to work on. But you start to develop your identity in the off season. And I'm really pleased with where we are. We still have a ways to go, but I'm excited about what those guys accomplished in our all-season program. Really pleased with that. Excited about Pro Day tomorrow for the Florida Gators. A lot of guys that put an awful lot into this program, and excited about them working out, hopefully fulfilling some of their dreams. And tomorrow's a big day for them, so really want to wish them all the luck in the world, and we'll have all the support we can have for those guys. Spring ball starts Wednesday. Really excited about getting football started. You know, you kind of get in this off-season program, you enjoy that. I love the all-season program. I think that's really where you start to develop an identity as a football team. And having this 5-week program for us was great. To have spring break set where it was perfect. We came back, running them a little bit today to get the spring break out of them, and to start on Wednesday is an exciting time, and certainly for us as a staff. We're ready to get on the grass. We've obviously closed practice for obvious reasons, in my opinion. We're a new staff. I think it's important on both sides of the ball and in special teams, our guys to focus on what we need to do to be successful right now. And we need to do that in close quarters. And I understand from a media standpoint you have a job to do. I understand that our fans love the Gators and want to be a part of that. And we certainly on April 9th, we want a full packed house of the Swamp. And that's when we'll get an opportunity for our fans to watch us play. And so, but I feel like really we need to concentrate on us right now. We need to get better and continue to develop the identity of what we want to be as a football team on both sides of the ball and in special teams. Offensively, I know there'll be a lot of questions, and I know Charlie and Dan are going to address you as well. Really, we want to be balanced in what we do. I can't sit here and tell you right now what we're going to be because we're not really sure. We haven't worked with the young men yet as far as football is concerned. We've seen them run and jump and all that stuff in shorts, but you play football in pads. And it's interesting to see the guys that run and jump well sometimes don't always translate to the football field very well. So we've obviously evaluated film from last season, watched a lot of that, but again, in our system, terminology, how they will respond to our coaching, our scheme, our situational football, the things we need to see them do and progress well with, and that's what we're looking forward to getting started on Wednesday. Defensively, we want to be multiple. I think we'll be more of an over team, a 4-3 team, a one-gap team at this point. We will commingle some 3-4. Dan's got some great ideas and some things that I've done in the past, but we've got an outstanding defensive staff, and I'm really excited about what all of those guys are bringing to the table. What can our players handle, and who will be our playmakers? That's the big thing to me going into this spring. What can they handle within our scheme, and what we need to do as a staff is a great job of what can they do and what do they do best. I've said from the first night we talked was it's not about taking a scheme and throwing it on our players and saying this is what we are. It's our job as coaches to evaluate what our players can do. And that's a huge part, and that's really what spring is for. We will not get as much opponent work done in the spring because we'll be installing our schemes and making sure our players feel comfortable about that. So when we hit the fall, that we're able to start running hard. Special teams, it's critical to control the vertical field position in every game. Caleb Sturgis will be limited a little bit in spring starting out, but we feel like he'll be full go as far as we work through the spring. They're excited about his prospects as a kicker. We obviously need to find a punter. Kyle Christie's a young man we brought in that's in here mid-year, and we're excited about him. But we will work through all phases of special teams in spring, starting with our field goal, PAT, block, and protection units, day one, and our punt units. We feel like that's important to go ahead and get those things, and as well solidify a return game. Have a returner, punt return, 2 kickoff returners. With our speed, we ought to be able to have some guys that can do an outstanding job of that. I know we did this past season, so I'm excited about being able to look there. A couple position changes from last season. Leon Orr has moved to defensive tackle. Athletically, he's a guy that's a bigger body guy that can hold the point inside, especially in our league with some of the two-back run teams we're going to face. Felt like he was suited for that, and we're going to take a look at that. Gerald Christian has moved to linebacker. He will continue to be on offense in some short yardage and goal line situations at tight end and fullback. He's got good lower body explosion. He's a guy that certainly is bright enough to play two positions, and we're going to look at that a little bit with him. He played linebacker at Dwyer High School for Jack Daniels and was an outstanding high school linebacker, and looking at our depth right there as far as guys that have actually played in games and playmaking ability, we felt good about that move. Jordan Reed would be a full-time tight end. We feel like a guy that can stretch the field vertically, can be a matchup issue for defenses with his athleticism. Excited about him. Trey Burton at the F position for us, as you'll see on the depth chart, is really a multiple position. We could be in 21 personnel, which is 2 back tight end, 2 wides, and being a 3 open wide out looking set, or a 4 open with Jordan flexed. So with those 2 guys athletically, we feel like we've got some mismatch issues for a defense. Me being a defensive guy looking at it, I know that there's problems involved in that. So we're excited about the versatility Trey will play for us at the F and at the H position in some third down work. But again, the depth chart really is a place to start. It's really, and I told the players last night, it's not about where you start, it's about where you finish. They're about like preseason polls. They mean nothing. All right, so cross-train at multiple positions on both sides of the ball. You do that to prepare for injury and depth on your football team. So we're going to ask a bunch of guys to play 2 positions, especially on defense, because of the different things that happen defensively. And as you work through the season, injuries, those things happen. You've got to prepare for the worst. I think that we've hired some really good football coaches. I'm really proud of how those guys have come together, have bought into the common purpose. We talk about it with our football team a lot, but so much carries over to our staff. And that's part of buying into that common purpose of what we need to do, seeing the big picture. Don't just look how it affects me. Don't look through the keyhole. Look through the whole door. Let's see the big picture here. Understand that it's not just about what happens for Dan on defense or Charlie on offense. It's the big picture of everything that happens. And I think that we've got a bunch of guys on our staff that are like that because of their experience. You're looking at a staff that's got over 50 years of NFL experience, 6 Super Bowl rings, 17 or 18 BCS bowl games. Won a lot of football games, but it's all about, you can take all those stats if we don't come together and pull together, and that's what I've seen. And that's what's been pleasing for me, and from not just a coaching standpoint and dealing with the players and managing the locker room, but from recruiting and all of those things, I think we've done a really nice job to this point. None of that matters to this point. It matters in fall for y'all. But for us right now, it's going smooth. I think that there's been an eagerness, a willingness to learn, to work, to buy in, to understand that again, like I said earlier, change is inevitable, growth is optional. I've told them that from the beginning. There's going to be changes. That's good sometimes, it's bad sometimes, but we're going to do things our way, and you're either in or you're not. So jump in and be a part of it, or jump out. That's fine with me. We're going to be good. Florida won a bunch of games before any of us showed up, and they're going to win a bunch after we're all gone. So either be a part of what we're trying to do right now or move on. And that's been, not an ultimatum or anything for them, but they understood that's the way things are going to be done. And so it's been very positive to this point. Again, we're all enthusiastic now. Let's talk practice 12. Let's go August 21st when you're in about practice 19 in fall camp. Let's see how enthusiastic we are then. So those are the things that where you start to find out about your team and your leadership and the core values of your organization. Not right now.